More and more people are taking their Bitcoin off of exchanges, and as the supply decreases and the demand increases, this causes the price of Bitcoin to skyrocket. And as the price of Bitcoin continues to climb, it becomes more difficult each and every day to own one Bitcoin. Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Over the last year, we have seen many people take their Bitcoin off of exchanges, and we can actually track it in real time. We can see the net inflow and outflow from all exchanges. And when Bitcoin is being taken off of the exchanges, this implies people do not want to sell it. And if you want to buy it, you're going to have to pay a high price. And when they send it to exchanges, this implies that they are ready to sell it. But whether it goes up or down, it is becoming very difficult for people to own one Bitcoin. Even if we were to see Bitcoin go back to $20,000 or $15,000, that is out of reach for most retail buyers. And when we track what's going on in real time, it can help us what's going to happen in the short term. On-chain metrics. This is one of the benefits of cryptocurrency. This is a chart from CryptoQuant, and when you see the line under, or you see these outflows under the line, this means people are taking their crypto off the exchanges. And when you see it above the line, this means people are putting it onto exchanges. So in real time, when we see these huge spikes of outflows, this implies that the Bitcoin price is ready to explode. But the problem with this chart is that most people look at it and think it can predict the future, but it's only in real time. We see that Bitcoin is being taken off of the exchanges, meaning the price should be going up, but at any given moment, there can be a large inflow to exchanges. Just like we see these large outflows, at any given moment, there can be a large inflow. So we need to look for outside sources. What we're trying to figure out here is, can you really own one Bitcoin? And is it going to be almost impossible in the future? Then we have to start looking at outside sources. If we look at this chart from Unchained Capital, it's called HODL waves. It shows what percentage of people have been holding onto their Bitcoin for a specific amount of time. This is where we are right now. And we can see right now that about 10% of people have been holding their Bitcoin for more than 10 years. 7% for 7 to 10 years, 3% for 5 to 7 years, 13% for 3 to 5 years, and 10% for 2 to 3 years. We can see the largest percentage here is 15% for 1 month to 3 months. These people are likely those that just got into crypto, right? 1 to 3 months. But what's interesting here is that nearly half of all Bitcoin holders have been holding on to their Bitcoin for more than 2 years. The supply is going down and demand is increasing. This is why we're seeing the price of Bitcoin continue to climb. Now, something happened this week that I believe did not get the attention that it deserves. Bitcoin is coming to 100 banks this year, says crypto custody firm NYDIG. And why is this big? Because when these services offer crypto to their clients, they need to first buy that Bitcoin. And when they buy it, when they custody it, it means there is less Bitcoin for someone else to buy. And for the first time, customers of some US banks will soon be able to buy, hold, and sell Bitcoin through their existing accounts, according to crypto custody firm NYDIG. And the way I believe this is going to play out is similar to PayPal and Square. As we know, PayPal decided to launch a crypto service, and it got all the press news that it should have, right? It was not underplayed, and it ended up being even bigger than we thought. In October, November time, PayPal and Square scooped up 100% of newly mined Bitcoin, and this was due to demand for crypto, multiple fold of initial expectations for PayPal. And let's see how that played out. It was right around here, October, November time, Bitcoin was trending, and then right around this time, as the supply decreased, as PayPal, Square bought up all the Bitcoin, this is really where we saw this bull market started, and then it started to shoot up from here. So when it comes to these banks, I believe it will be the same. We don't have the full details yet, and it's only going to develop further. After rolling out the initial Bitcoin product, NYDIG plans on other services, including debit card rewards paid in Bitcoin and a new type of bank account that is FDIC insured but pays interest in Bitcoin. We are seeing more people get into Bitcoin, and there simply is not enough. As we know, one day there will only be 21 million Bitcoin, but at the moment right now, there's 18.7 million in circulation, but there is actually much less because it is estimated that nearly 4 million Bitcoin have been lost forever unrecoverable. And there is only 46.8 million millionaires in the world. There is not enough Bitcoin for every millionaire in the world to own a Bitcoin. There is not even enough Bitcoin in the world for half of all millionaires to own one Bitcoin. There is not even enough Bitcoin for a quarter of all millionaires in the world to own one Bitcoin, because as we know, many wallets hold more than one Bitcoin. Some have 100, 200, 300. There's simply not enough. This is true digital scarcity. And the argument that always comes back is, well, Bitcoin, while there might only be 21 million in the future, it can be broken down in Satoshis. So really, there is no limit. You can keep breaking it down. What's the difference between Bitcoin, 21 million that can be broken down, versus a coin that has 100 billion coins with a hard cap? And the best way to explain it is the pizza analogy. A pie of pizza can be sliced into 8 slices, but you can further slice it into 16 slices, 32 slices, and so on. But people don't want one little skinny slice. They want a full slice. Actually, people don't even want one slice. They want 2 or 3 slices. And the same thing applies with crypto, whether you're looking at retail investors or large investors. They want to own a full piece of the pie. This is why average retail investors will get 1,000 Dogecoin or 1,000,000 SafeMoon. They don't want 0.01 of a Bitcoin. And at the institutional level, the big players, they're not buying 0.1 Bitcoin or 0.5 Bitcoin. They're buying 100 Bitcoin, 200 Bitcoin. So saying that you can split it up does not work. It's just like I said, splitting up a pizza into 100 slices. People do not want that. And what's very interesting about Bitcoin is that it started out as democratic money for everyone. But slowly it has evolved into something that is not really affordable to the average retail investor. So when you own one Bitcoin, this is a very big deal. Actually, if you own 0.28 Bitcoin, you are technically in the 1% of Bitcoin holders. And I know a lot of you have come across this article, this story before. 0.28 Bitcoin is a big deal. And if you own one Bitcoin, you are in the upper tier of that 1%. And I know in real time right now, it might not seem like a big deal. 0.28 Bitcoin, is that really so special? Right now, we can argue maybe. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But in 10 or 20 years, I believe it is going to be very special. 0.28 Bitcoin or more, especially one Bitcoin, could be life-changing. And if you own 0.28 Bitcoin or more, I want to congratulate you. I really do think this is a big deal. Maybe in real time you don't see it, but in 10 to 20 years, it will be. So is it possible to own one Bitcoin? I believe today it is possible, but difficult. But Bitcoin will continue to grow, and eventually it will be out of reach for most. I believe in 10 to 20 years, Bitcoin will be worth at least $500,000, but it could go as high as $1 million. And watch this video link right above to find out the reasoning why. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.